Before we get started, let's go over some of the basic terms and concepts that you'll find in any warehouse management system or supply chain system. Let's start with the concept of a zone. A zone is a physical collection of locations depicted here as gray colored areas. You often hear locations referred to as bins. You may also hear the term license plate, storage locker, closet, freezers, or even a piece pick and overstock zone. Inventory is reported and transacted in units called units of measure. In the example here, we have a pallet in the bottom zone, Z1. Cases of a product are represented in the middle zone, Z2, and this Z3 zone isn't meant to be broken down as a way to constrain picks to that particular zone. Think of it more of a way to design methods geared to that unique unit of measure. Now, in our imaginary fulfillment center, we want to not only define the zones, but also have the ability to set priorities that drive the sequence and zone of one or more fulfillment requests. We are designating Z1 with an affinity for pallet quantities, Z2 for cases, and Z1 for eaches. I use the term affinity because we won't always force pickers to select eaches from the Z1 each zone. It simply means that under normal circumstances, we can allow for fulfillment requests to be broken down into multiple pickers and fulfillment zones. Now that we've established a priority and unit of measure affinity, now let's introduce some additional configurations that are unique to WithoutWire, and you won't find these in other warehouse management systems. If you're using version 9.8 or above, you can utilize these new configurations for advanced order fulfillment options built for the most specific scenarios. These configurations drive significant changes in the behavior of a specific fulfillment need. When used, min bin pick tells the system to additionally take into consideration minimizing the number of locations that are needed to fulfill a request. Next up is allow unit of measure teardown. This is needed to give permission to break apart a case or a pallet to fill a fulfillment request. Again, this is a valuable part of the system when you need to get something out the door quickly. That also means that if it's not on, your team won't be able to pick cases from the pallet zone Z1. Now here's an advanced pick option called No Mixed Lots. This parameter can be a huge help for requests from those customers that don't want mixed lots used for fulfillment. This can work alongside restrictions on aged products, referred to as shelf life, and quantity fulfillment tolerance constraints. Now let's take a look at our fourth fulfillment option used to plan a fulfillment. Zone split. Zone split is the simplest way to break fulfillment requests into multiple zones for one or more users. The breakout by zone is simple, and it leverages bin location replenishment techniques to ensure proper inventory levels per zone. And finally, we have a way to maintain a strict adherence to a requested unit of measure. When a preserved line unit of measure is used, it indicates that regardless of the pick process settings, override the zone selection setup for standard fulfillments. Now, let's introduce a top-down view without all the fancy colors. We show the concept of inventory on a license plate by using the brackets with little circles on the ends. We can use the license plate in any zone, bin location, or even in the possession of a user. Here, we show license plates in each zone. We hope this video gives you an overview of some of the options available in advanced picking options.